But today, families of those taken hostage on October 7th are in D.C., continuing their tireless efforts to push for an end to the war and for the return of their loved ones still being held by Hamas in Gaza. It has been 2 years since that horrific attack on Israel. A 21-year-old Israeli American was serving as an IDF tank platoon commander when he was killed by Hamas. His body taken to Gaza. Omer Nutra had deferred his first year of college to serve, to join the IDF. Joining me now are his parents, Orna and Ronen Nutra. They are fighting to bring their son's body back. I want to thank both of you for coming on the program again. It was exactly a year ago, Orna, when you and I spoke. You had already made, at that point, a year ago, 16 trips to D.C. And I remember you saying, hope is mandatory. Are you hopeful today?
That's true. I believe this time last year, we also were hoping to reunite with our son alive. And unfortunately, on day 421 to the war, December 1st, we were informed by the IDF that Omer, after being taken wounded into the tunnels on October 7th without receiving any medical attention, died that day. So, of course, that was devastating news for us, and it still is. And yet we still, a year later, are still fighting to bring his remains back and to give him the burial, dignified burial that he deserves, and finally be able to grieve properly and hopefully to heal to some extent. The news in the past week give us hope. We do hope that finally, the parties in the region will be able to bring this war to an end and bring back the hostages.
Omer, you are in Washington, D.C., calling again on leaders to finalize this peace deal, to bring all the remaining hostages home. I know the bond that has been forged among the families. 2 years later, to you, does the end feel near, finally? Ronen?
It's okay. I think the circumstances has dramatically changed. What we're seeing is a cohort of Arab countries that are on board with the understanding that the hostage release is the key to getting to ceasefire and then to peace and stability in the region. And by having the Arab countries with on the drumbeat of President Trump and the pressure he put both on the Israeli government as well as on the partners that are in touch with Hamas, which are Qatar and Egypt, and recently also Turkey, that multifaceted directional pressure is bringing us to the point where we are more hopeful today than ever. Yet we have to hold our breath because it can change any day. This is fragile. The understanding and the deal can fall through, and we've been in this up and down roller coaster train of emotion too many times in the last 2 years to put all our hopes in one basket. But having said all of that, we are closer than ever, and we're sure hoping that the pressure and of the administration here will be joined with the rest of the world saying this is the opportunity. And may I say another one element, we've been hearing the pro-Palestinian asking for ceasefire for 2 years now. And now when there is a ceasefire opportunity on the table, I don't hear them. Where are they? They should be calling on the release of the hostages, as this is the first stage of the of the ceasefire and the end of war. I think the administration here understands. I think the moral compass in this country is broken. I think a lot of people are misinformed, and I'm sure hoping that by bringing the hostages and bringing stability, we can start the healing on both sides.
Maybe part of that healing, Orna, is that a park where Omer learned to ride his bike was just dedicated in his name. There you see it. They're also opening a basketball court there, which feels, of course, perfect because we know he was such a huge Knicks fan. I wonder what that means to you and what it feels like to be there.
First of all, it means that we live in a community that does understand and does have clarity about right and wrong. And Omer is a child of this community. And they realize that terror needs to be fought all around the world. Omer was born a month after 9/11. I was pregnant, 9 months pregnant with him in New York City on that day. And I clearly remember feeling that this is unbelievable, that it's happening in the United States, in New York. And my only goal that day was to bring him to safety. I couldn't keep him safe 22 years later. Our community understands that. Our community understands that hatred needs to be fought, that fundamentalism is not good for anyone in the free world. And the request to rededicate the park in Omer's honor came from the community. We were extremely touched by it. And they want to honor him as a child of the community that made a right choice, that is a person of service. And of course, he loved basketball. He loved the New York Knicks. He loved Kobe Bryant. He had a lot of appreciation for his Mamba mentality, which was all about grit and dedication and not giving up. And we were so very touched, by the decision to do that. And he will be remembered in our community for years to come.
And how appropriate it seems that a place where there could be so much joy will be named for your son, your hero. Orna and Ronen Neutra, thank you so much.